Uh, Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, I know it's going to be hotter today, but last night at 8 o'clock it was 98 outside and it was 84 in here. The air conditioners just couldn't keep up because it was, I think it got to 101 yesterday. So it was just, it was, ah. Good morning, Cornbread. Good morning, Skeeta. Hopefully everybody's trying to stay cool. Right now it is 74, so not bad. It's 75 in the house right now, so it's coming down. It'll come down before it gets too hot, and then it's going to go back up again in here. Not pounds, degrees. So, well, I understand you have 93-degree weather every day, but you live down there and you're used to it all day. Come on. Hey, come here. Come here, pumpkin. All right. So, what are you doing? Come on. Come here. Come on. Look here. Come on. There we go. They missed you Friday night. He said, "Where's the spirit?" I said, "Where is the spirit?" Yeah, improvise, adapt, and overcome. You're right. Right on. She's uh, she's got the fur coat on, so she's hot all the time. But we have the portable air conditioner here. We got an air conditioner in the living room, and a portable air conditioner in the dining room. And she's been laying on one of the chairs in the dining room, which directly gets air from the air conditioner, and she's been loving it in there. She come and slept with me for about an hour and a half last night, and then she got up and said it was just too hot. Oh, yeah. Good morning, Gavin. Morning, Junkyard. Yeah, sitting on a block of ice. Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what, it was so hot last night. We were in the bedroom watching TV. She fell asleep in the bed, but she wasn't. She didn't cover herself up. And when I woke up this morning, she was still uncovered. So can't be wrong. I think the object is to make the mountain flat. Oh, funky. They made right up the road. There you go. It's a good thing there wasn't no accident up the road. You'd have felt it. Now, I wonder, hypothetically speaking, um, if someone was to drop, say, 500 bunker busters on the San Andreas Fault, would California um, float out into the ocean and become its own island? Inquiring minds want to know. They're all scratching their head. That's a thought. That's a thought. Yeah. Yeah, in a hoo-ha. You're right. Yeah. I don't know. That's what I was worried about. It's a good thing old Johnson, old Hank Johnson, brought that up. Yeah, just a big Steve part. There you go. Yeah. I know. I think Johnson did. Yep. Um, if we blame, how big is Guam? You know the length of it and the width of it. You guys said something about like 7 miles by 5 miles or something. If we put 5,000 troops on that island all at once, is it going to flip over? Right then and there, if I'd have been the general he was asking that question to, I'd have looked straight at him and asked him what he smoked for lunch. So, yeah. Hank Johnson. So, that right, Pumpkin. Yeah. What you looking at? Go get him. Huh?
Mess around, find out, Kitty.
Oh yeah, yes, you did. Okay. That's right. We can go to the sun as long as we go at night. Yeah, it's cooler then.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
And they all ran. That's right. That one was funny.
All right. Love it.
I love you too. Did you take one of them cinnamon rolls?
No.
Pecan twirls? Take one. Yeah. Yeah, let me see real quick. Um, there it is. That's the link. Watch Hank Johnson say something about it flipping over. Well, that's nice. You know, he is a representative from Georgia. I'm sorry, Cornbread, but he is. They got the good ones, yeah. And I guess, let's see if I can find it again. We had a shooting up here in Warren, Michigan. Um, at a Brit or at a church. Um, yeah, I haven't. I just heard about it this morning. Um, I don't know who it was or what. Um, yeah, so Wayne, suburb of Detroit. I don't know, you know, if it was in retaliation for bombing Iran's nuclear facility or something, but I'm pretty sure because being the area, allegedly, I can neither confirm nor deny, but up in that area is one of the biggest areas for um, Iranian supporters. Yeah, I know. You just now seeing that? That's been all over the news around here. A father and son seen it out there off in Lake Erie as it was fishing. People are saying, well, why didn't they take pictures of it with their phone? Well, I don't know. If I think I'm standing on, you know, the shore fishing, I don't think I'm going to have my phone on me in case I fell in, for one thing. So uh, he's from Himalaya. That's Yet. They call him Yeti. Yeah, that's the Sasquatch, my brother Yeti. I love them Bigfoot vlogs or reels. Those are funny, man. You got the cat. He said, "This is my friend Charlie." Yeah. Next thing you know, he's eating cat and wearing one of them Chinese hats. Well, he blinked twice, said it was okay. Yeah. That's exactly what they did as they rocked the cat spa. Oh. Supposed to get some rain Wednesday, so the heat's going to go down Wednesday most likely. We went to Ollie's last night, and I bought a case of these. I put new light bulbs up above. Bought a case of these, which is 6 to a case, 99 cents a piece. Good deal. But it was Ollie days, so 10% off, so they were 90 cents. So I bought a case of those. Bought a 20-inch round fan, not oscillating, just a round fan, sits on feet. And then bought a fishing pole for Kyler for his birthday. So, and then a box of Hungry Jack mashed potatoes. I think that was all we bought. And it come up to, it was like $44 or something like that, which wasn't bad. They had a big, I know, I'm thinking about that. Yeah. If we're Democrats come from, you're right. They had a 24-inch commercial fan on wheels. And almost bought that to put in the garage. Just keep air, blow the air, blow the garage out. Because they smoke in the garage, and that'll help get rid of some of the smoke smell and stuff, and air out the garage. But I didn't want to spend $72 after, for it with a discount. So, yeah, you learn something new every day. Oh, Pumpkin, always a good girl. Yes, it is. There's a good girl. Come on, get up here. There. There we go. There's a good baby. She got me up this morning, 5 after 5, looking me straight in the eye, wanting to know where her treats were. So I ended up getting up, coming out here and getting her treats. Because she'll bother you all night long if you don't make sure she has food and water before you go to bed. As long as she has food and water, she's fine. But if one of them run out in the middle of the night, good morning, Jane. If one of them run out in the middle of the night, you're gonna know it. So I try to make sure she has food and water before I go to bed. It kind of like lets me sleep a little bit longer. Now, a couple of years ago, our daughter gave us an air conditioner. They were having a yard sale at their house, and they had an air conditioner, and they didn't sell it. Nobody bought it. And they told me, said, well, we're going to scrap it since nobody bought it. I said, does it work? Well, yeah. I said, well, instead of scrapping it, I'll take it. Ain't no sense of, throwing away a air conditioner that works or scrapping one. So I took it and I put it in the shed, or in my storage unit. Um, well, the other day she's complaining how hot it's in her house and they don't have air conditioning. They want to buy a central air system, but then that's not going to come till next year. They don't have any air conditioning. Well, I said, well, I got that air conditioner that you give me. Well, that's not going to cool the house. I said, at least it'll cool your bedroom so you can sleep at night, you know. And then, when you get up in the morning, all you get ready and go to work or whatever, at least you're cool. So I went over there and got that yesterday. They come over and picked it up. And then when we went to Ollie's, they were walking out of the house with a 12,000 BTU air conditioner, $285 or something like that. I said, I thought you weren't going to buy a new air conditioner. Well, they had them on sale here. Okay. Well, now they got a 12,000 BTU to put in their living room or whatever, and that'll help keep um, the downstairs relatively cool. So you did. Were they big words or were they bad words? What did the doctor say? Right. So I told him, I said, you know what you ought to do is, because heat rises up, take a fan and put it in one of your bedroom windows upstairs and blow it out. That'll suck out the heat from upstairs, which will help keep your house cool. And just put it in a room with a door on it. So, heat will still get into there, but it'll help with the air conditioning too. Oh, did you ask him if you just wanted your firstborn there, Gene, or what? I bet they do. Yeah. Well, that was nice of her. I seen one. They had one there at Ollie's, and it was in a box about this big, 5,000 BTU. I thought, man, if I knew the dimensions of the kitchen window or the bathroom window, I'd have thought about buying one of them. If you take a fan and you blow the air out, you're sucking that warm air out of the house and blowing it out. and you're bringing cold air in from the air conditioners downstairs. That'd be a heat exchanger. You're right. So I remember had one of the places we lived had an attic fan in it, and when that thing would turn on, it would shut the doors in the house. Doom, doom, doom. All right, there, cornbread. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. I put a window fan in the bed in the bathroom yesterday, and we keep the door shut. But yesterday, it was so hot in the bathroom that you could barely open the door because the the door is on rollers, and it was like the rollers were sticking and stuff. It was like it only acts that way when you take a shower and the steam gets there. So it was so hot in there that the door was squeaking when you opened it, and it was it didn't open as easy as it should. So I put a window fan in that bathroom window blowing out, and in about an hour, it cooled it down in there dramatically, and the door started working right. But it was flat out hot yesterday and humid here, and it's going to get hotter today, I guess. And the kitty knows it already. She's out there looking out the window. What you doing, pumpkin? I don't know. I have no idea. A thermodynamic engineer. Well, I tell you what, after I did that, it was 20 degrees cooler in the bathroom than what it was before. So, you had to cover up this morning. Forget to shut the air conditioning off. Shots, everybody, shots. Shots, everybody, shots. Shots, everybody, shots. It's Two Shot Monday. Well, our air conditioner will run until the end of September. We'll have like an Indian summer, and it'll get bacon hot here. So Tell you what, I remember when I was a kid working in the fields for the farmer. We usually started about the middle of July doing the corn detasseling. And when the corn detasseling, I don't know if they do it in a lot of areas, but that's for seed corn. You take the female rows, you have 2 male rows, and then you have 6 female rows. And then you have 2 rows of male and 6 female. And you take the tassels out of the top, which let the male pollinate the female and become seed corn. So we used to do that when we was kids, but we also would go work for them the end of May when we first started working for them. At the end of May, we'd start working for them and de-row it. So you go walking through each row, and then you find corn that's out of place in the middle of the row, or it's sucker corn that's it's attached itself to another corn stalk or whatever, and weeds, and you go do that. Well, we didn't have no breeze yesterday. It was just beating down on you. And it was hot. Hot, 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 hot. It was hot. How hot was it? It was hot. They get the hybrid? Yeah. I almost bought a couple of tomato plants the other day. They were big ones. And I thought about buying them and taking them home and then transplanting them. But it'd be my luck after I took them out of that pot and put them in something else that they would die. You know, it's usually if they've been in a pot that long and they're that big, they're not. They're probably not going to make it. Wrapper. You know, it's the best thing about candy, don't you? When you're done throwing away the wrapper, it's not too hot yet. Yeah. Oh, that kitty, there must be something interesting outside. Because she's watching. I gotta get a cup of coffee. Who are they trying to impeach? I had to powder real quick too. No, you don't get a discount. Huh. Who are they trying to impeach here, Junkyard? I don't know. I don't watch them anymore. Just well, you oughta, because you know what's going to happen, don't you? They're going to ask a question, and they're going to ask a question, and they're going to ask a question, and they're going to ask. Oh, they're going to try to impeach Trump. Okay, and they're going to yeah. For what? For bombing Iran? Yeah, lots of luck on that. The other day, I was talking to a guy that worked on my car, and he's running for city council. And he said, I see that you posted something in one of the groups, and a lot of people got mad. I said, yeah, they got upset. Can't handle the truth. He said, I talked to the chief of police, and he said that because what I wrote in there, I said, if you don't think that the police didn't know that ICE was in town, you're sadly mistaken. Because the thing that they were saying is they were driving around with no plates on or expired plates, and that they didn't have warrants, and nobody knew who they were, and the police didn't know. And I said, if you don't think the police didn't know, you're wrong. Even the mayor knew. I can almost certainly guarantee that once the police knew, the mayor knew. I was talking to this guy, and he said, yeah, the chief of police told me they knew that they were there. Because when they pulled into town to do this, they stopped an officer and told him, we are doing this. So he called his supervisor, which in fact called the chief of police, which in fact called the mayor, so they knew. They all knew. They had a designated decoy for a B2. Yeah. The new #1 hit, bomb, 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 Iran. Bomb, 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 Iran. Bomb, Iran. Yeah. Pounder sand. Yeah. It's amazing that the safety and security of the American people does not matter to the Democrats that want to impeach somebody for making sure America is safe. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not loud enough. And bingo. Yeah. You know, if they'd have used a Blackbird um, to do that mission, he could have dropped the bombs, come back to America, grabbed more bombs, and then went back before the other ones hit. Yeah, she dusted off her flying carpets. Yeah, I told this story before. Oh yeah, they would bitch about it. You're saving too many lives. Yeah. Um, Years ago when I was working for the trucking company, and we used to have to deliver fluff to the landfill. So what we would do is we had tip trailers. They were 8 axle. Good morning, gorgeous. Huh? Yeah, you going. Um, you would take your tip trailer, back it up on a ramp, a hydraulic ramp, unhook, pull ahead, and it would lift the trailer up and then dump it. Me and another guy were sitting there and we're watching this guy from a foreign country by way of Canada. He's trying to back the truck up. And every time he'd back the truck up, he'd miss the ramp by half. He'd get one set of wheels on the ramp and the other ones wouldn't go on. And then he'd pull ahead and do it again. Pull ahead and do it again. And then he got on the radio and said, I try to get it done, I try to get it done, I try to get it done. After about 10 minutes of us sitting there watching this guy back it up and then go forward and back it up and go forward, I got on the radio, and this guy, if you talk to this guy, he'll tell you he'll never forget it. I said, hey, it ain't like backing up that magic carpet at home, is it, Haji? He said, the guy that I was with over there, he was in the truck next to me. He said about fell out of the truck, he was laughing so damn hard. Come on, Pumpkin. Oh, it's a good girl, yes. Get up here. Come on. Come on. Hey, come on. Come up. You done looking out the window? Hmm? Oh, who is that? Oh, who is that? Oh, is that your nonna? That is, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, she was Kathy. Yeah, I ain't gonna win the Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, I bet it is gonna be a hell of a paycheck. I don't know, about 20 minutes, 25 minutes ago. I didn't know if they had to reverse them or not. Well, I think I have seen Haji do it a couple of times on Johnny Quest. You know? Yeah, he probably only gets paid to drive fronters. That's right. I can drive at fronters, I just can't drive at rearwards. We was working at Adrian Fabricators. Kevin was working the dock, and this woman was driving semi, and she pulled up to the loading dock and told him put it in the dock. And I can drive her front ends, but I can't drive her rear ends. Needless to say, um, it took the guy about probably 4 more times before he finally got it to where the back axle was on the ramp. And then they finally told him, back it straight. Come on, back it straight. So he finally got it up there. Now, when we backed ours up, you undid the turnbuckles first, and then lifted your mud flaps, folded them over. You fold them in and up, and then hooked them on with a chain. Back up on the ramp, go over and drop the suspension because there was air ride suspension on the trailer, and then there was a switch for the lock, which was an air lock. You'd hit that too, and then once it dropped, and you'd hear the tailgate unlock. Then you unhooked all your lines, your air lines and your electrical line, and then pulled your fifth pin, and then just pulled ahead about a foot and a half. And then once you pulled ahead, it would lift up, and and then it would dump. I've had them know before that the brakes were so bad on the trailers, the parking brakes, after you released all the air, the trailer would start to roll. And I actually had one that rolled forward and hit the back of the cab as it was trying to lift it up. Um, the owner wasn't happy, and come to find out, it had a brake job that night, but they didn't adjust the brakes correctly. They had it, the night before. It was a new mechanic that did the brakes. Well, did you get that SOB back there? When I was doing the doubles, he was proud of you, yeah. When I was doing the doubles, we had a couple of scrap yards that you had to pull in and then back. After you pulled in, you had to back a hard right and back all the way back to where they wanted you to dump or to load. And you had to back that set of doubles around the corner. One shot singing, there you go. First time I did it, it took me a while. But after I realized what I would, how to do it, it wasn't that bad after that. Well, I bet that's going to be fun. The only thing bad about that is who, because there's been a lot of accidents with those, self-driving cars, self-driving, Ubers and stuff. Who gets the ticket if caused an accident? It does happen. Oh, I think the owner of the company ought to get the ticket to his driver's license. And if there's, an injury, I think he had to suffer the consequences. You know, say one of the cars goes berserk and kills somebody, he had to get it for manslaughter. I don't trust technology like that. Just watch Total Recall. After Arnold Schwarzenegger reaches up there and rips the driver out of the seat, drives himself, and he gets out and it says that'll be 17 quid or whatever credits, and he doesn't pay. The self-driving car tries to run him over. Yeah, pull over and check it for license, insurance and license. Yeah. Well, years ago, this woman bought uh, an RV, and the salesman was showing her everything about it. Showed her that it had cruise control. He said, "This thing practically drives itself. Just set the cruise, and you're all ready." So she figured, if you set the cruise, it's going to drive itself. So she was on I don't know where she was at, but she was on a straight line, a straight road for a long while. And she gets out of the seat after she sets the cruise and goes back to the kitchen and starts making a sandwich. And about 5 minutes go by and the RV veers off the road and crashes. Well, she ended up suing the RV company because they said it practically drives itself once you set the cruise control. They didn't tell her that she still had to be behind the wheel, and she won. That's how stupid our society is. I have no idea if they tape it to the steering wheel or not. It's probably on a metal plate on the steering wheel with a clip on it. Like the golf carts have, so you can keep your scoreboard there. She's there yelling at the cat. Come on. She must be up on the computer keyboard looking at her. She absolutely adores cat. For some reason, she wants to sleep with me, but she's always bugging Kathy. Chases her, grabs her feet, gets up on her computer keyboard while she's trying to type. It's warming up. It was 74 this morning. It's 76 right now. Let's see what it's going to be today. No. That's not love. Yeah. 13 cents a kilowatt. Hell, I don't know what ours is, but I'm pretty sure it's higher than that because, you know, this is the land of opportunity here. Okay. From June 1st to September 30th, from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., is 21 cents a kilowatt hour. Off peak hours on other times is 16.6 cents a kilowatt hour. Non-summer months is 161 or 16.1 a kilowatt hour. Yeah. They rape us during the summer. Well, they sell it in bulk, that's why. Yeah. I don't understand why. Yeah, I think this Michigan's the only state that has peak hours. All right, everybody, time for me to get out of here. Y'all have a great day. God bless. Take care. Prayers and peace, and I will see you Wednesday morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard if you're so inclined to join me. Have a blessed day, everybody, and take care.